So, quick disclaimer before we get into this. This could be potential spoilers. I don't think any of it's going to be spoilers. I hope most of it isn't spoilers. But just in case it is, and you're the type of person that doesn't like watching predictions and then you get upset when they're true, which is okay. I'm not saying that's bad. Just that's why I'm giving this disclaimer of possible spoilers. So if you don't want predictions to be true, then I would suggest not watching this video. These are pure speculations based on what I've interpreted from what Amazon has said, from interviews, from articles, people, theories and predictions from just fans in the community, my community, online communities. They're all pure speculation, so none of it is really based on any truth. It's just maybe it happens, so I don't want that to be spoiled for you in case it does happen, if that's something that you care about. So I just wanted to mention that. But let's get into these predictions. So the first one, the big one, I think Sauron or Anatar in some way will disguise himself as Celeborn to further his relationship with Galadriel, whether that's to trick her into working with him again because it failed in the first season, whether they play with more of that relationship and she tries to resist falling in love with him because she thinks it's Celeborn, but it's not, but she doesn't know this. And then they do this weird, Sauron isn't the bad guy kind of story. I don't know. I feel like there's going to be something there. I just can't quite figure out what it's going to be. And I'm a little worried on what it's going to become, but I think there's something there. Pharazôn will become the Witch King. I don't know if that'll happen this season, but I think it's going to be at least set up in this season. And it will be something that happens further down the line. Pharazôn, for those that don't know, is just the older gentleman that's in Numenor. You can see him in the trailer staring into the Palantir. He's angry that the elves are kind of mistreating men, and they have the whole taking our jobs and lives and stuff like that in the first season. So I think he'll become the Witch King. If it's not this season, it'll at least be set up in this season, I believe. That's my guess. The elf-dwarf relationship will end. I think they're going to use the events in this season to kind of establish that the elves and dwarves now hate each other, whether that's through the Siege of Eregion and the Balrog or some other means. I definitely think it's going to come to an end this season. The Stranger, aka Gandalf, will now be given the name Gandalf or Aloran or Mithrandir or any of his other aliases. The Stranger has always been Gandalf. They just never have called him Gandalf. So I think this season he'll actually be given the name Gandalf. Something that I think would actually be kind of fun to see is Shadowfax, I think, will be discovered or rescued in the East. So where the hobbits, Harfoots, because they're not allowed to be called hobbits right now, where the Harfoots and the Stranger are in the desert, and they're going on his adventure to stop evil and discover what his purpose is in Middle-earth. I think he'll actually save Shadowfax while he's there because he is Gandalf. I think we're going to see a Morgoth and Ungoliant. I think they're going to make an appearance in this season through a flashback of some sorts. And I have a strange feeling that they want to connect them. Amazon wants to connect their stories more to Middle-earth and the story that they're creating. So I don't know if they're going to take their entities or their souls and try to reincarnate them as something. I have a bad feeling about those two if they do make an appearance. And I feel like Amazon would be like, oh, we should make them connected. We should further their lore and connect them into our story. And I don't know, Tom Bombadil is actually Morgoth, but it's a punishment so that instead of being all evil, he's now all good. I don't know. I feel like there's something there that could happen. Not that I want it to happen. Let me remind you that this is a lot of this stuff I don't want to happen. I don't want this to be the case. It's just something that these are the impressions I'm getting from trailers, from interviews, my own interpretations of what Amazon likes doing with their shows. These are all pure predictions that I don't want to happen for the most part. I think Isildur will meet his wife either during or shortly after his encounter with Shelob. Amazon mentioned something about his wife, and then giving her an important name, which I thought was weird because she isn't really named in the books. And then every time they've talked about Isildur, they've talked about spiders and Shelob and all this stuff. So I feel like that's somehow connected. I don't know if they're trying to imply that Shelob will become his wife, or if one of Shelob's children becomes his wife, or if he's just going to rescue her from Shelob. I don't know. There's just a lot going on there that I think they're trying to hint something. So we'll see if that happens. Galadriel will still have no daughter. We still won't see her. I don't know why. I feel like we should at this point, but I don't think we're going to see her daughter. This one I'm not... Not that it makes sense timeline-wise, but the entire timeline doesn't make sense. But I think this would be okay, and I think Adar could become Gothmog. Gothmog, like the one-eyed orc from Return of the King. I know they can't technically, connect stuff to Peter Jackson's movies, and Gothmog is a Peter Jackson creation technically, like the look and design of them. But I think that's I think there's something there that Adar will be tortured further by Sauron, and because he's like the first orc, so to speak, like the father of orcs, I think they're going to lead that into him being Gothmog, but they just won't call him Gothmog, and they'll make references. He'll lose an eye. He'll get more grotesque. I don't know. It's something I've been thinking about, and I think that could be interesting, honestly. Now, the last one I have is that I think they're trying to do something with Theo, because the actress that played his mom in the first season, she's gone, and I feel so they have to do something different with his character, and I don't know what that is. All I've gotten from him is that he does a lot with the Entwives. So my crazy prediction for him is that he's going to be he's going to have this massive connection to the Ents, and I don't know if it's going to be something ridiculous like he becomes Treebeard later, or like his soul becomes Old Man Willow, or like he's going to just start a group of villagers that's in like the Vale of Anduin that live on the borders of the forest, and they become like the Wildmen there. Like I don't know. I feel like his connection to the Ents is going to be important. I just don't know why. And I know I said he's going to become Treebeard. I know that's not possible. Again, these are things I don't want to happen. I'm just going based off of pure speculation and the ridiculousness that Amazon likes doing in any of their shows. Yeah. So those are my predictions. So we'll see what happens this season. I'll be every Saturday, I will be streaming a review, my thoughts and feedbacks on every episode. So as of the 29th, the first 2 episodes will come out. So the 31st, I'll do the review of the first 2 episodes, and we'll be streaming that. So come along and join, come into the discussion. This isn't just about if you love it or hate it. This is a true discussion and conversation about the show and our love and hate for it, our dislikes and likes. And we will continue that trend on until the show's over. So I'll watch the show every Thursday, and then on the Saturday, I'll do a review or discussion about it live on stream. So yeah, you should come along for that. But thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoy the show. I'm hopeful for it, so we'll see what happens.